been playing metal guitar for over 20 years, and in that time, I've owned a lot of guitars. Some were great, and some of them were massive regrets. Whether it's buying something just because it looks super brutal, or chasing a hype train just because a big name artist played one. I've made all of those mistakes, so you don't have to. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 types of guitars to avoid if you play metal, so you can get something that actually fits your style, your budget, and your tone goals. Let's get into it. Number 1. Overly pointy guitars. Flying V's, DNMLs, Explorers, and basically anything by BC Rich. They look brutal, but they're basically a nightmare, especially if it's your only guitar. I have 2 DNMLs, and when I got my first green one, first thing I did when I got it home is smacked it off the kitchen top because of how absolutely ginormous it is. They can be quite hard to play sitting down, they're hard to store in the house, and honestly, they're not very practical unless you're playing live. So if you're buying this guitar to replace another, or it's your first one, don't get something that you basically have to stand up just to jam on. What you should buy instead, grab something that's more ergonomic and easy to play. Super Strats, single cuts, or even offset shapes like the Jaguar or Mustang. These guitars are more comfortable, easier to live with, and won't make you look like a tryhard when you're trying to practice on the sofa. Number 2. Guitars with low output pickups. Now this one's critical. If you're playing metal, you need high output pickups. Cheap guitars often come with weak, muddy pickups that sound fizzy and uncontrollable at high gain levels. And in a live mix or a loud room, they're going to feed back like crazy. But you want clarity, punch, and control, especially when you're chugging or playing those super fast riffs. What you should buy instead. Look for guitars that have pickups like EMGs or Fishmans, because they are pickups that have tight, aggressive tone, especially for metal. But if you're after dynamics or more expressive cleans, Seymour Duncan, DiMarzio, or Bare Knuckle are an absolute killer choice as well. But yeah, cheap single coils or no-name humbuckers, avoid like the plague. Number 3. 7 and 8 string guitars. I know it's tempting. You see Meshuggah, see Sleep Token, Spirit Box, and then you think, I need an 8 string guitar to sound heavy. But here's the truth. Most people who buy a 7 or an 8 string don't actually use the full range. They basically chug on the low string and then they ignore the other strings. I've personally bought and sold so many 7 strings over the years, either cheap ones that sounded bad, or the expensive ones just didn't click with me. I think you're better off setting up a 6 string in a low tuning and just getting that right first. And stylistically, I think it feels super weird playing riffs from bands like Megadeth, Metallica, Lamb of God, Slipknot on a guitar designed for things like djent or ambient stuff with 7 or 8 strings. Don't get me wrong, I'm not completely hating on 7 strings, I've got 2 myself. Just saying, don't have your only guitar be a 7 string, especially if you're a beginner and you want to play metal of all different types and genres. And also, if you're only going to play the low 4 frets, maybe you should just tune down a 6 string and get more acquainted with that before you decide to get a 7 or an 8. What you should buy instead. Grab a solid 6 string, maybe a baritone or one with an Evertune, and tune it down. Thicker strings like 10 to 52, 11 to 56, maybe even 12 to 62, because I think a well-intonated 6 string will always sound better and tighter than a cheap 8 string guitar ever will. Number 4. Signature guitars. Signature guitars are everywhere. And yeah, they look cool, but most of the time, you're just paying extra just to have someone else's name on the headstock. Take the Matt Heafy Epiphone Les Paul. Made in China, cost nearly $1,000, and while it's decent, it just doesn't feel like it justifies the price point. You could grab Harley Benton Les Paul style guitar, throw some Fishman pickups in it, and you would have a guitar that probably sounds better and costs way less. There's also this weird thing, playing other people's riffs on a signature guitar just feels off. Like, when I pick up my Dean ML, I'm pretty much picking it up to play Pantera. I wouldn't want to play Slipknot or Metallica on it because that would just feel weird. In that way, it kind of limits you creatively, even if that is really just psychological and it's all in your head. Plus, let's be real, buying a signature guitar won't magically just get you the artist's guitar tone also. A Kirk Hammett ESP signature model isn't what makes Metallica sound like Metallica. It's Kirk Hammett himself. The high-end models made in Japan are finely tuned to their exact specifications, but usually the cheaper ones are watered-down versions that sometimes just miss the point completely. So what you should buy instead. Look for a well-specced out, non-signature guitar that fits you and your style. High output pickups, solid construction, and good hardware. Build your tone and your sound from the ground up, not someone else's. Number 5. Starter packs. I get it. Starter packs can seem super convenient. You get a guitar, an amp, a strap, a cable, maybe even a tuner. Pretty nice, right? Until you realise that these things are basically mass produced and they focus more on price than they do on quality, and that's not good for anyone. The guitars are usually hard to set up, they struggle to hold a tuning, and let's be honest, the pickups are usually pretty bad. The amps are basically toy speakers. They don't sound good clean, distorted, or anything in between. And then within 6 months you'll probably have to upgrade everything, which in some ways now has cost you double if not more. So why not just buy smart from the start? So what should you buy instead? For the same money, you could basically buy a Harley Benton guitar and a Harley Benton amp separately, and then actually get something you're probably going to want to play for longer than 1 week. Starter packs look great, they look cheap, but in reality, they're an absolute false economy. So that was 5 guitar and gear choices that I think all metal guitarists should avoid, especially if you're just getting serious about your tone and your setup. If you've bought any of these before, don't worry, we all make mistakes. I know I've made loads. Let me know in the comments what gear you regret buying, or if you've got any of these and you've made them absolutely work to a T, let me know, because I really want to hear about it. And if you're looking for affordable, quality guitars or gear that actually works for metal, check the links in the description below. These are the ones that I trust and that I recommend.